Hello guys, today we'll do a pack opening of the starter deck World Generation green deck, or as I would like to call it, the World Generation or the Eustace Captain Kid deck. We'll see what you will be getting via this starter deck, and I'll also do a meta-analysis on why this deck is the strongest starter deck, and from the Japanese meta it's expected to be the strongest starter deck even after the Romance Dawn set releases. I think because of the Yamato and the Oden green cards that should be coming with the new box set. So let's get into it. Let's go into the opening. Of course, it's not a sealed product. I've already opened this box. So the first card that you get is the best leader in the game and the expected best leader in the game, Eustace Captain Kid. This card says you may rest a specified number of Dawn, which is 3. Then you may trust one card and this card becomes active. So you can basically attack with this leader twice per turn, which is so unfair and so good. Then we have the character, Eustace Captain Kid, the best blocker in the game with 7k. There's not much to say, and the other good thing about this card is that you can attack with it, you can attack with 7k, you can rest it, and then by paying a cost of 1 Dawn, you can set it as active. So this is, to my knowledge, this is the only blocker so far that it can attack in your turn and it can block in your opponent's turn. Like, this is such a bastard and such an unfair card. Then we have 2 Trafalgar D Waterloo. Not much to say. Your consistency card, I think it's one of the better consistency cards. Basil Hawkins, this card, it's like you can attack with it and then you can set it as active. So this card can also attack twice, the same as this leader card, like you can rest it. So because this card battles an opponent's card, you can set it active again, so you can attack again, basically, for the cost of 1 Dawn. So that's also the main strategy of the deck. This deck depends on the fact that it can attack multiple times per turn and you just overwhelm your opponent. Then we also get 2 Rouge, not much to say. You can use this as a body to attack for 5k, or you can just hold it as a counter. I would usually recommend hold this one as a counter. The same thing with the 4 Vito, just hold those 2 as a counters. Now the cards to play for Beji, one of the, if not the best blocker in the game actually, only for 1 cost. You can just block and attack and protect your leader. So you also have the best blocker in this deck. For Apu, not much to say about the Apu. I would usually recommend to hold it as a counter because of the 2k instead of the 1k that most of the cards require. 2 Killer, not much to say about Killer either. You can just KO one of your opponent's card if it has 3 cost or less. It only requires 3 Dawns to play. This is a must play card. This is like one of the stronger cards to play along with Luke Beji. For Cody, 4 cost, 6k. You can use that as a counter, you can attack. Depends on the game. In my opinion, the MVP of the deck, Bonnie, best consistency card in the game so far. Not much to say either. For Hit, just use it as a counter. You don't need to play it. Definitely play Bonnie, and also when you start the game, try and open your hand with Bonnie. If you open your hand with Bonnie, the deck will just run so smooth. Then we have 4 Beppo, hold them as a counter. X-Drake, with X-Drake, you can just beef up your character so they can gain more attack. 2 Scalpel, you can gain 2k, then set one of your Dawn card as active. This is such a strong card with only one cost. Ripple, best event card in the deck. You get 4k power and then you set one of your Dawn cards as active. Not much to say, by far the strongest event card in this deck and definitely one of the strongest event cards in the game. Then you get the Straw Sword. That is a mech card, more of an average, and then you get your Dawns. So as I say, this is more. This is not a deck like the Kaidos, like the purple one, that just has huge bodies and try to end the game like in the late game. With this deck you want to end the game as soon as possible, with attacking multiple times with your main attackers. What I also like about this deck is that you probably don't need to buy a second one. Like, to fix some ratios, maybe you need the third Hawkins, like maybe a third Kid, and then I would say that the only card that you definitely need 4 of, and it's not given in the deck, I would say it's Killer. So I think that this deck can basically function pretty well even if you don't buy a second deck. If you want to buy a second deck, I would mostly do it for the 2 Killer and 1 Kid, which I'm not sure if it's worth it because Kid has a cost of 7. So I don't think that you want to see this card in your early game. You just wanted to see it once and you have like so much consistency because of Bonnie, where you'll probably get it regardless. So my only issue basically is the Killer. So if you want to buy a second copy, just have the maximized consistency of Killer, go ahead. Otherwise you can very easily top tournaments and win events with that deck. And when the new set comes out, add your Odins, add your Yamatos, and with whatever else new support comes with the new set basically. So yeah, so this deck is considered the strongest for a reason. You have the best consistency in the game, the best blocker in the game, the best leader in the game, and you can attack multiple times with all of those cards the same turn, which can get pretty overwhelming. Like, this thing can attack for 7k, use the ability, it can be a blocker. This thing can attack, active, attack again. Like, your opponent at some point will have to counter 7k, 5k, 5k, and you can always beef up your pirates with some Dawns. So yeah, that's probably the best deck so far. It will probably be the best deck in the Romance Dome meta. I expect it to be rivaled by the Kaido deck for sure. I also expect the Red Shanks to make an appearance here and there. But yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Thank you very much guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.